It's your life. We ignore these important details, and that's a mistake because this right there is life-threatening danger. Not all narcissists become physically violent, but when they do, it's too late to reason with them. You can't stop them at that point. By the time the abuse turns physical, the warning signs were already there. Maybe you saw them, maybe you ignored them, or maybe, just maybe, they hid them well enough until now. A narcissist doesn't just snap out of nowhere. Violence is not an accident. It is a final escalation when words, manipulation, and control no longer work. Before a narcissist ever lays a hand on you, how dangerous is a narcissist really? That is a topic that isn't talked about enough. I want to go over the dangers regarding finances, mental health, your physical health, and then I want to talk about the dangers if they escalate beyond that, where it becomes the ultimate danger. Well, the truth is they can be incredibly harmful to your mental health, your finances, and even your overall sense of safety. They can become physically violent even if they never have before. So let's start with the beginning. First things first. What should you look for to know if you're in danger? Narcissists often come across as charismatic and charming in the beginning. They're the life of the party, they make you feel special, and they often play the victim. But here's where things get tricky. Once you're emotionally invested, their true nature starts to surface. They become controlling, manipulative, and dismissive of your feelings. They might guilt trip you into doing things for them or twist your words to make you feel like you're always in the wrong somehow. And at first you bite because they've always been so nice, right? Some obvious signs that you might be dealing with a narcissist include, and I'll make this short here, I just want to cross the T's and dot the I's for anyone new to this narcissism research. They believe that they're entitled to special treatment and expect admiration from everyone around them. They don't understand or care about your feelings or anyone else's. If you're going through something difficult, they might turn the conversations to themselves. They exploit heavily. Narcissists will take advantage of your kindness, whether it's emotional, physical, or financial. They often see a relationship as a way to benefit themselves, and once they've used you, they often discard you. And sometimes it's not discarding physically, but they'll discard you emotionally. They twist reality to confuse you, often leaving you doubting your memory, sanity, or perception of events. We call that gaslighting. Now, that out of the way, let's look at the dangers to your mental health. Living with a narcissist is like walking on eggshells. Well, actually, it isn't like. You literally are walking on eggshells. They have this incredible ability to manipulate your emotions, and it can leave you feeling constantly anxious, insecure, or even paranoid. You might find yourself questioning whether you're too sensitive or if your feelings are even valid. You second guess yourself. And this is a direct result of their manipulative tactics, and over time, it can chip away at your self-esteem and confidence. Narcissists often isolate their victims. They'll create drama, play the victim, or gaslight you to the point where you stop reaching out to your friends and family for support. The isolation can lead to depression, anxiety, and a general sense of worthlessness. It's a slow burn, but it does a lot of damage over time. You have the financial danger. It's not just emotional and mental well-being that's at risk. Narcissists can also be a huge financial threat. They often expect you to give and give without reciprocating. You might find yourself paying for their mistakes, supporting them financially, or putting your own needs aside to make sure that they're comfortable. They can be incredibly charming when they need something, but once they've gotten what they want, they'll move on without a second thought. A narcissist might manipulate you into co-signing loans, funding their lifestyle, or even taking on debt in your name. And if they're in a position of power over you, like a boss or a partner, they might use financial control to keep you dependent on them. And this financial manipulation can leave you in a precarious position, struggling to regain control of your own money and stability. Narcissists can be dangerous in other ways also. Their need for control and superiority can extend into all aspects of your life. You might feel like you're constantly walking on a tightrope, never quite sure what will set them off next. And what happens in these cases is your adrenaline is in constant use. Adrenaline, also called epinephrine, is one of the most powerful and fast-acting hormones in the body. It is the key hormone in the fight or flight response. Adrenaline is made for emergency purposes. The adrenal glands flood the bloodstream with adrenaline within seconds. So, for example, if you need to lift a heavy boulder off of someone in an earthquake situation, for example, all the blood gets redistributed to the muscles. It'll supercharge the muscles. It redirects blood flow away from non-essential functions for the moment anyway. Digestion, immune system, skin, etc. And it sends it to major muscle groups like the arms, legs, and core. Blood is pulled from the internal organs and less active areas, ensuring that the arms and legs get more oxygen and glucose for explosive energy. The person's going to have super strength. But where does the blood go in narcissistic abuse? Unlike a physical emergency where blood is directed to muscles for immediate action, in psychological and emotional abuse, the body's response is more insidious. The blood races to the amygdala, the fear center, keeping the brain in a constant threat detection state. And this creates hypervigilance, making the person overanalyze, anticipate danger. That's the walking on eggshells, right? And stay on edge all the time. Adrenaline also reduces pain perception, which is why a person trying to save a life is not going to feel pain that they themselves are actually in. When it comes to narcissistic abuse, the victim goes into the analytical and tells themselves that they can handle it. They are numbed up, so that pain is lowered. And yet at the same time, you have the prefrontal cortex, the rational problem solving of the brain, gets less blood flow, leading to brain fog, difficulty thinking clearly, and indecisiveness, which is common in trauma bonds. So instead of fueling explosive action like lifting something heavy, adrenaline keeps muscles tense but stagnant, especially in the shoulders, neck, jaw, and gut. And this leads to chronic pain, migraines, TMJ, and digestive issues, so on and so forth. So since there's no physical escape from the psychological stress, the body remains in a state of readiness but never releases the energy, and this leads to fatigue and burnout. The heart beats faster and harder, increasing blood pressure, and over time, this can lead to heart disease, palpitations, and even panic attacks. Narrowing of the blood vessels happens frequently, limiting oxygen delivery to non-survival areas like digestion and skin, causing cold hands and feet, poor circulation, and slow healing. Then you have digestive issues. Blood is pulled away from the digestive system, which the body sees as non-essential during stress. It's pretty essential. This causes gut problems like IBS, bloating, acid reflux, and nausea, which many survivors of narcissistic abuse struggle with. And over time, the immune system takes the hit. It weakens, leaving the person vulnerable to all types of diseases that can be fatal. So why does this happen in narcissistic abuse? The body treats the narcissist like a predator, keeping the victim in a chronic fight or flight response. Unlike a one-time emergency, there's no clear danger is over signal. So the body never fully relaxes. So if someone is in a state of chronic adrenaline activation, meaning they're constantly in fight or flight mode due to stress, trauma, or other factors, it can have serious negative effects. I was just reading a comment on somebody's YouTube channel today about this woman who got really deadly sick. She almost died because of this abuse. Then there's the psychological and emotional effects, anxiety and panic attack disorders. Adrenaline makes the mind hyper alert, leading to excessive worry and fear. You have insomnia. High adrenaline can make it hard to relax and sleep. Irritability and mood swings. Constant stress can make emotional regulation extremely difficult. You have brain fog. You have memory problems. Over time, adrenaline and cortisol damage the brain's ability to process and store memories. We often think about the danger in domestic abusive relationships where the partner's life is in danger, which I'm about to address. But is this not extreme danger here? It's your life. We ignore these important details, and that's a mistake because this right there is life-threatening danger. Not all narcissists become physically violent, but when they do, it's too late to reason with them. You can't stop them at that point. By the time the abuse turns physical, the warning signs were already there. Maybe you saw them, maybe you ignored them, or maybe, just maybe, they hid them well enough until now. A narcissist doesn't just snap out of nowhere. Violence is not an accident. It is a final escalation when words, manipulation, and control no longer work. Before a narcissist ever lays a hand on you, they test the waters. Small things at first. A shove that they play off as a joke. A door slammed just a little too hard. A hand wrapped around your wrist just tight enough to make a point. Then it gets worse. They start throwing things. Maybe not at you, but near you. And it can even be something as small as a Tootsie Roll. They block the door during arguments, forcing you to stay. They'll be right up in your face when yelling at you, like an inch away from your face. They say things like, "You don't know what I'm capable of," or "You'll regret this." And they mean it. The moment that you feel trapped, the moment that you feel that drop in your stomach that tells you something isn't right, listen to it. When a narcissist knows that they're losing control, when they feel you're slipping away, this is when they become the most dangerous. Their rage burns hotter but fades too fast, like they're flipping a switch. Do not ignore this one. They might apologize, but it doesn't feel real because it isn't. They become obsessed with what you're doing, where you're going, who you're talking to, like more than the norm. And then suddenly your freedom isn't yours anymore. The first hit might shock you. You might freeze, rationalize it. They didn't mean it. It was the heat of the moment. They were just a little bit out of control. They must regret it. If they push you once, they'll do it again. If they grab your arm today, tomorrow it might be your throat. If they threaten you now, they are already thinking about how far they can go. And the worst part, if you don't leave now, the day will come when you can't. So if you see these signs, don't wait. You don't need proof to leave. Your fear is proof enough. So here's what to do. You want to have an escape plan. Know where to go. Know who to call. Never, ever confront them alone. A narcissist on the edge is unpredictable. Gather your essentials quietly. Your documents, your money, a burner phone if necessary. Get to safety first and then seek help. Police, shelters, friends, family. Trust your instincts. If you feel unsafe, you are unsafe. The most dangerous narcissists don't just ruin lives. They take them. Don't let them take yours. You deserve safety, you deserve peace, and you deserve to live. And I'm not here to try to scare you here, but I do want you to look at reality. Things are shifting. Things are escalating in today's day and age. Where I live, we never heard of tragic endings, but we have had 3 in the past few months. The second one was last week, and the third one was today, this morning. Like I said, escalating. So please do not be vulnerable. Protect yourselves. Pay attention to any changes and listen to your intuition. Your intuition is a big deal. Don't second guess yourself. I leave you with all of this to ponder on, and we shall see you in the next video. Take care and bye for now.